been a lot different if he would have died on that mountain.
And a 24-year-old dies on the same day he's discharged from Denver Health Medical Center. The family says the hospital should have never let him leave. Thanks for staying with us here at 9:30. I'm Jeremy Hubbard.
And I'm Erica Gonzalez. A Nebraska family says their son's death was preventable if Denver Health had provided the most basic care.
Problem Solver investigator reporter Rob Lowe with the likely lawsuit that may ask for $10 million. Rob?
That's right, Jeremy and Erica. The family of Joshua Brumm has sent a legal letter warning Denver Health that a lawsuit is coming. Some 7 hours after Joshua Brumm was discharged, he died from internal bleeding, something his family and their attorney says should have never happened. Joshua Brumm had found his calling in Colorado, teaching at Beaver Creek Ski School and working with kids who have disabilities.
I knew he was going places with that part.
His mom, Lynn Brumm, remembers the snowboarding accident happened on the first day of ski season, November 20th, 2020. Joshua Brumm fell on a rock while snowboarding in Vail. Doctors at Vail Health Hospital would have him airlifted to Denver Health, hoping doctors at the Trauma One Center could save Joshua's left kidney.
A 24-year-old should not go to the hospital because of a kidney injury and die.
Dying was never supposed to be a risk factor after doctors removed Joshua's left kidney on November 28th, his 8th day in the hospital. But it turns out Joshua never stopped bleeding internally. The family's attorney tells the Problem Solvers that's a clear sign Joshua Brumm was still losing blood.
If they had done their job, Joshua Brumm would be here with us today.
Attorney Holland Hoskins has filed a notice of claim to sue on behalf of the Brumm family. Repeatedly, she writes, doctors never consider an exploratory laparotomy, basically another surgery, to find out why he's still bleeding. Instead, they released Joshua on day 12, December 2nd, insisting he was better, despite what his mother noticed when she picked him up in the parking lot.
When I got out of the car, he was already bleeding through his shirt, through his really thick dressing pads. And the nurse just said, oh, looks like he sprung a leak.
This photo shows Joshua resting at a family friend's house. 7 hours later, he would become dizzy, lose his vision. Here's part of the 911 call.
How old is the person who's having the seizure?
24, he just got out of the hospital today.
I'm angry, obviously. Crushed that they just couldn't keep him a few more days. He'd have coded in that hospital bed. There would have been hospital staff doing CPR on him instead of his mother.
Do you believe Joshua's death was preventable?
Absolutely.
So does the family attorney, Holland Hoskins.
Denver Health needed to take him to the operating room, find the bleeding, and stop it.
The autopsy report obtained by the Problem Solvers shows Joshua Brumm died of internal bleeding, something Hoskins says should have been easy to diagnose and treat. The doctors had made any effort to identify where the 24-year-old still needed blood transfusions even after his kidney was removed.
He was my absolute best friend.
Joshua's oldest sister, Morgan Brumm, wears a locket around her neck, a picture of him and her, plus his fingerprint. She had bracelets made for his funeral where everyone wore flannel to honor his favorite clothing, and friends wrote on his casket final messages for a person who always had time for others.
It could be 2 o'clock in the morning, and he answered me. He was always there for me.
My mind does not comprehend that he's even calling.
Dad, Scott Brumm, wants answers, especially to why he says Denver Health told the family Joshua should not be released before December 5th, but was suddenly discharged December 2nd.
It surprised me when he called and said they're letting me go today. I'm like, what?
And why do medical records show Joshua was given blood thinners like Levinox, and Scott remembers a doctor telling his son he shouldn't be given any blood thinners.
I think there were procedures that were missed.
Life would have been a lot different if he would have died on that mountain from a snowboarding accident.
Joshua is buried in his hometown of Seward, Nebraska, but his gravestone, with its mountain scene and soaring eagle, reflect his love of Colorado.
He deserved something awesome.
His family's love for him demands accountability for a premature death they blame on Denver Health.
I want to stand on a mountaintop and scream at them, do not ever do this again.
In a statement to the Problem Solvers, Denver Health told us in part, after another facility, meaning another hospital, notified us of his death, Denver Health conducted a thorough and immediate review of the care provided to Mr. Brumm. But Denver Health doesn't say if Joshua Brumm received adequate care or what conclusion this hospital's review team came to or why, if it conducted an immediate review, it didn't notify the state health department for 5 months. And it's not clear who at Denver Health conducted this review because Denver Health says its patient safety team was left in the dark for 5 months. A spokeswoman admits to me the patient safety team at Denver Health knew nothing until the state called Denver Health based on a complaint from attorney Holland Hoskins. And now Hoskins suspects Denver Health may have engaged in a cover-up. Tonight at 10. We're going to show you why.
And we met the whole family. They're obviously very upset. So they now plan to sue for $10 million.
They do, Jerry, but it's going to be tricky. Under state law, Denver Health enjoys some level of government immunity, which normally means it can't be sued for more than $350,000. But the family attorney says Colorado law allows an exception when there's gross negligence, which is why she's going to seek $10 million. By the way, Denver Health continues to send medical bills to Joshua Brumm, even though he's passed away.
We know you'll let us know what happens.
Yeah, looking forward to your piece coming up at 10 o'clock, Rob. Thank you so much.
Coming up all news tonight here at 9.